Tonight, the breaking news, the shutdown. The White House threatening more firings now saying more than 10,000 workers could be fired. Tonight, a judge steps in to halt these firings. Late today, President Trump standing by the move and saying, quote, "We got the people that we want being paid. Also, the president is asked about the latest U.S. missile strike on an alleged drug boat off Venezuela and what the president said about potentially striking on land. We'll go to Rachel Scott live at the White House. Also tonight, new and terrifying images emerging from inside Gaza. Hamas fighters appearing to carry out public executions. President Trump tonight saying they must disarm or we will disarm them. The president saying, quote, "As soon as I say the word, Israel could go back in." Ian Pannell standing by. In this country, the violent clashes amid these immigration crackdowns. The violent clash in Chicago. Federal agents using tear gas and a crowd of protesters. Dramatic video showing Border Patrol agents chasing a driver, ramming the car in the middle of a city street. The governor, who has said we did not ask for federal agents, saying, quote, "They need to back off." The prominent surgeon tonight facing chilling allegations, accused of raping a woman at gunpoint. The surgeon claiming he has ties to the NYPD and the Secret Service. What authorities are now saying about this tonight. This evening here, our reporting on the economy and what you're paying for everything. Tonight, the cost of a new car. What our reporter discovered at the car lot. What is the average price of a new vehicle in this country? Who can afford it? And what's driving this? Tonight, what could be a landmark case before the Supreme Court. Justices hearing arguments over whether to strike down a key part of the Voting Rights Act. What this could mean for representation in Congress and what the court has signaled already. The parking garage collapsed, the fifth story coming down onto the floors below, crushing cars. Also just in, the concrete grain bin coming down, snapping power lines. Tonight, the breathtaking images from the top of the world, the American climber who just made history. And America Strong tonight, the NFL cheerleader, what she's signing, and one extraordinary surprise tonight.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the breaking news on this government shutdown, now day 15. President Trump's new threat tonight. The White House says more than 10,000 federal workers could be fired, many already going without pay. And late today, President Trump in the Oval Office pressed on the shutdown impasse, halted over health care. Democrats want to keep Obamacare subsidies so health insurance doesn't go up for millions. But there's been no movement on this. And on the firings, the president tonight saying, quote, "We got the people that we want being paid, talking about the military and the FBI. The president praising one of his top officials, Russell Vought, who now says the White House will likely cut more than 10,000 federal jobs during this shutdown. Tonight, a federal judge now temporarily blocking the firings. So what does this mean going forward? And the other major news from the White House late today, the president was just asked about the latest U.S. missile strike on an alleged drug boat out of Venezuela and what the president is now saying tonight about potentially striking on land. Rachel Scott leading us off from the White House tonight.
Tonight, after already firing more than 4,000 federal workers during the government shutdown, the Trump administration now saying that number will more than double.
I think we'll probably end up being north of 10,000.
The president saying he's going after programs dear to Democrats and the Americans who work on them.
They're going to be terminated on a permanent basis, and it's thousands of people, and it's billions of dollars.
But tonight, a federal judge ordering the administration to immediately halt the mass firings after multiple unions sued, calling the firings illegal, arbitrary, and capricious. The judge ordering the administration to provide information within 2 days on the people it has fired so far. It comes as hundreds of thousands of other workers are now missing paychecks as the shutdown drags on. The president has authorized extraordinary measures to pay the troops, and today said the FBI will get paid too.
We got the people that we want paid, okay? And we want the FBI paid, we want the military paid. We got the people that we want paid.
But workers like air traffic controllers charged with keeping passenger planes safe are out of luck.
Not knowing exactly how I'm going to have childcare for my kids or put gas in the car or pay the next mortgage payment adds a certain level of stress onto an already stressful profession. It's just very difficult.
Amid the shutdown, the president also facing questions today about at least 5 deadly military strikes he's ordered against boats off the coast of Venezuela that he says are being used to carry drugs into the U.S. Today, the president asked why this wouldn't be a traditional Coast Guard operation where officers can verify who's on the boat. The president saying the Coast Guard boats are too slow.
They have faster boats. Some of these boats are seriously, they're world-class speedboats. but they're not faster than missiles.
And tonight, the president suggesting land strikes in Venezuela could come next.
Are you considering strikes on land?
Well, I don't want to tell you exactly, but we are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control.
And David, back to the shutdown, that federal judge putting those mass layoffs on hold for now. Meanwhile, back on Capitol Hill, Democrats say that the White House has now gone radio silent. There was some talk today about the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, debating the Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries on live television. But Johnson now says he will not do that until the government reopens, David.
Rachel Scott leading us off from the White House tonight. Rachel, thank you. We move on now to new and alarming images emerging from inside Gaza tonight. Just 2 days after President Trump celebrated the ceasefire while he was in the Middle East. Hamas fighters now appearing to carry out public executions. Tonight, President Trump saying they must disarm or we will disarm them. The president saying, as soon as I say the word, Israel could go back in. Our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, with the disturbing images tonight.
Tonight, terrifying images emerging from Gaza. Video verified by ABC News appears to show Hamas-linked gunmen carrying out a public execution as they return to the streets. Late today at the White House, President Trump warning if Hamas doesn't choose to disarm, the U.S. will make them.
They've agreed to do it. Now they have to do it. And if they don't do it, we'll do it.
Tonight, despite those alarming images, Hamas insisting it will honor the peace deal and return the dead hostages, according to U.S. advisors. Late today, the militants handing over 2 more bodies to Israel, but the Israelis accusing Hamas of stalling. The president telling CNN Israel can restart the war as soon as I say the word if Hamas doesn't uphold the peace deal. In Israel tonight, new images of those tearful reunions of the last living hostages freed. Brothers Ariel and David Cunyo back with their family. Their mother Sylvia saying, "My children are home. I can finally breathe." And in Gaza, Palestinians like Odeh al-Dalu returning to his neighborhood, now a wasteland. There are no words to describe the feeling, a tragedy, a new kind of suffering.
David, the peace deal is already under severe pressure and the lack of detail on key points is starting to show. But tonight, a senior U.S. advisor saying they still believe that Hamas intends to honor the agreement. David.
Ian Pannell from Jerusalem for us. Ian, thank you. Back here in the U.S., the violent clashes amid these immigration crackdowns. In Chicago, federal agents using tear gas on a crowd of protesters. And tonight we have dramatic video here showing Border Patrol agents chasing a driver, ramming the car in the middle of the street. The governor, who has repeatedly said we did not ask for this federal presence, saying, quote, they need to back off. Here's Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, tensions rising as the Trump administration's sweeping immigration crackdown expands. In the last 24 hours, federal agents clashing with residents in Chicago. As some protesters threw objects, federal agents deployed tear gas on crowds, angry about the latest arrest that ended with a crash in their neighborhood. Illinois' governor, who's repeatedly said he did not ask for federal help, accusing immigration agents of using strong-arm tactics.
They're the ones who are tossing tear gas when people are peacefully protesting. They need to back off.
Homeland Security officials say it all began with agents chasing an undocumented migrant who they say had rammed a Border Patrol vehicle. Agents then crashing into the vehicle to stop it. New video shows that the chase then spilling over into a Walgreens, where 19-year-old Warren King says he was shopping. He says when he tried to leave the store, he was tackled.
He's a citizen! He's a citizen!
You don't know what's going on, so get the back!
He was just saying, why you running? I'm telling him I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm here. I'm legal. I'm born here. So they didn't try to hear none of that, though.
Community leaders today blasting federal agents.
Not only undocumented people are being targeted, but also people of color are being racially profiled by these unjust actions.
And today, the Chicago woman who was shot by federal agents after allegedly ramming her car into their vehicle, today pleading not guilty to assault. Marmar Martinez seen in this video in the moments leading up to that alleged ramming. Prosecutors say she was part of a convoy tailing those agents.
David, in a sign of increasing tensions, LA officials are declaring a state of emergency, saying they will offer undocumented migrants financial and legal support as this deportation campaign expands. David?
Our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, thank you. In New York City tonight, chilling new allegations now against a prominent surgeon accused of raping a woman at gunpoint. Prosecutors now say the surgeon claimed he had ties to the NYPD and to the Secret Service. Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, a prominent New York City surgeon is charged with a horrific crime, sexually assaulting a woman at gunpoint. Authorities say that doctor, claiming affiliation with the NYPD, the U.S. Secret Service, and the U.S. Marshals. 56-year-old Dr. Maurizio Miglietta teaches and practices at hospitals across New York and New Jersey. Prosecutors say the accuser, who's nearly 30 years younger, viewed Miglietta as a mentor and visited his apartment in June to talk medicine. Instead, prosecutors say Miglietta kissed her without consent, and when she tried to push him away, he lifted his shirt, showing her a holstered gun, allegedly telling her, "Watch out for this," saying she asked if the gun was loaded. He allegedly said yes. Prosecutors say the doctor then put the gun on a coffee table by the woman's head and sexually assaulted her before she was able to escape.
The allegations are beyond disturbing. I think anyone should know not to engage in this type of conduct, but I think it speaks to the power imbalance.
The doctor pleaded not guilty, David, to rape and other charges, the judge setting bail at $1 million. Prosecutors are looking into his connections with law enforcement, but as the DA told us tonight, David, that gives no one license to brandish a gun and force a woman into sex. David?
Aaron Katursky here in Manhattan tonight. Thank you. We turn to the economy tonight and are reporting on the prices you're paying for everything. Tonight here, the cost of a new car. What our reporter discovered on the car lot, the average price of a new vehicle in this country, and what's driving this. Here's Matt Rivers.
Tonight, it's never been more expensive to buy a new car. According to a report from Kelley Blue Book, the average price for a new vehicle has cracked the $50,000 mark for the first time ever.
It's shocking.
I think it's obscene.
And that's just what people paid. The average asking price, the MSRP for 2026 models, is even higher, more than $52,000. Talk about sticker shock. The study's authors writing, it was only a matter of time, especially when you consider the best-selling vehicle in America is a pickup truck from Ford that routinely costs north of $65,000. The report says the average price for a new Tesla is $54,138. Tonight, economists say tariffs on autos and key auto parts are a factor. Also factors a rush to buy electric vehicles before tax breaks expire in September because of President Trump's big, beautiful bill that eliminates them. And lastly, experts say the families that can afford new cars are often the ones who can afford expensive cars, driving that average cost higher.
Just the fact that sales are being shifted towards more luxury and higher end vehicles is similar to this situation we're seeing just about everywhere in the economy.
And experts say consumers looking to used cars to save money are also out of luck.
When I looked up the cost of a 2021 Nissan Sentra versus a brand new one, the cost difference is roughly $1,000. So what is the better value?
And David, it's really interesting that electric vehicle sales are also driving some of this, driving up the average price of a car. There was a real race to go out and get them before those tax credits expired. Many families rushing out to get theirs. David?
Matt Rivers reporting tonight. Matt, thank you. From the Supreme Court tonight, justices now hearing arguments over whether to strike down a key part of the Voting Rights Act. What this could mean for representation in Congress and what the court has signaled already tonight. ABC's Devin Dwyer covers the court.
Tonight, in a case with nationwide implications for American elections, the Supreme Court seemingly ready to limit a key part of the Voting Rights Act. Section 2 of the act has long been a guardrail against states diluting the influence of voters of color by packing them into districts or breaking communities apart. When a court found Louisiana's map violated Section 2, the state redrew the map with an eye on race to create a second majority black district. A group of non-black voters sued, arguing that was unconstitutional. The court's conservative majority today appeared sympathetic, Justice Brett Kavanaugh voicing concern about the indefinite use of race to draw maps.
This court's cases in a variety of contexts have said that race-based remedies are permissible for a period of time, but that they should not be indefinite and should have an endpoint.
But Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson pushed back on the notion of time limits, insisting Congress wanted Section 2 to be a lasting tool.
It doesn't need a time limit because it's not doing any work other than just pointing us to the direction of where we might need to do something.
David, the bottom line tonight, if the Supreme Court decides to limit the use of race as a factor in redistricting or declare it unconstitutional altogether, that could influence how minority communities are represented in Congress and ultimately the balance of power. David?
We'll continue to follow this. Devin Dwyer, who covers the court. Thank you, Devin. When we come back here, a rare mosquito virus has been discovered here in the Northeast, right outside New York City. What we've learned. Also, the images just in a grain silo collapsing, taking out power lines to an entire community. And then the parking garage collapsed, the fifth story coming down right onto the floors below. You can see the cars crushed there, where this played out in a moment. Tonight, power has been knocked out to a community after the collapse of a concrete grain basin in Martinton, Illinois. Video showing it coming down, snapping power lines, and crashes to the ground, grain, of course, spilling out. Residents now without power there. No word on how long it'll take to restore. Authorities now say the entire power line structure must be rebuilt. A parking garage has partially collapsed in White Plains, New York, just outside New York City. The roof of the fifth floor collapsing and the cars below it. Take a look at this. Engineers now trying to fortify the structure so people can retrieve their vehicles. Remarkably, no one on that fourth floor was hurt. When we come back tonight, there's news on this rare mosquito-borne virus detected just outside New York City tonight. And the NFL cheerleader standing by tonight with a message for all of you at home. And she delivers it in a very special way. To the index of other news tonight, a rare mosquito-borne virus detected just outside New York City. Health officials say it's the first local transmission of this type in 6 years here. The patient from Nassau County, Long Island, the chikungunya virus is most common in the tropics. Symptoms include joint pain and fever. Most patients do recover within a week. Officials still say the risk to the public is low. Tonight, an American making history on Mount Everest. American Jim Morrison becoming the first person to ski down the most difficult route, the treacherous north face of the world's highest peak. A crew led by filmmaker Jimmy Chin following Morrison as he made his descent. You can see more in the upcoming National Geographic documentary Everest North and on nationalgeographic.com. When we come back here tonight, America Strong. Tonight, the NFL cheerleader standing by here after her surprise right on the side of the field and what she now has to say about it. Finally tonight here, the NFL cheerleader and her surprise for a little guy in the sideline. She wanted him to know he's not alone. It was the extraordinary surprise at the Indianapolis Colts game from the NFL cheerleaders right on the sidelines. Colts cheerleader Morgan McLean with a young fan, 8-year-old Mark Braster. Mark is deaf, and he's living with a rare brain disorder. Starting the school year at the Indiana School for the Deaf, and he's made remarkable progress. Invited on the field by the Colts to see his favorite players up close for his very first football game in person. And just watch when that Colts cheerleader, Morgan, who knows how to sign, spots the young fan. Signing to him, giving him a book from the cheer team.
What do you say? Tell her thank you.
Then asking his name.
A-R-K, Mark.
Signing back to Mark, her name is Morgan. Then asking about the big game.
It's your first time? He gave me so much fun. Yeah? He gets excited when he sees other people signing. Yeah.
Mom Veronica telling that cheerleader he loves when he learns that others can sign too. And right here tonight.
Good evening, David.
Mom Veronica and Mark signing his name just like he did for that cheerleader.
M-A-R-K. M-A-R-K, Mark. Seeing Mark light up the way he did was just amazing. I hope people see how much inclusion really means to Mark and other people.
And joining us too.
Good evening, David.
Colts cheerleader Morgan McLean.
Thank you for having me be a part of the America Strong segment tonight.
Signing America Strong. She sure is. And sending us this message tonight.
I really hope that this video maybe inspired a few new people to learn ASL and is starting a bigger discussion about inclusivity and accessibility within the NFL and sports in general. Thank you again, and of course, go Colts!
Go Colts and go Morgan for signing with that young fan Mark and signing America Strong. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the third year in a row.